This is a fairly short video just to show you how to use the very powerful VLookUp function in Microsoft Excel. What you're looking at here is the end result of the process that I'll walk through in about 2-3 minutes. So what we have is a list of students going all the way down to say 1024. We have the individual scores, and we need to map those scores to the grades, and the grade breakdown is shown in this grid right up here. What you see here is that we'll be able to get a count of the number of students that have an F, the number of students have a B, be able to get the breakdown, say that 13% of the students got an E while 17% of the students got an A, and then finally here be able to say that all 100% of the students got at least an F, because F is the lowest you can get, and say that 17% of the students got an A, or 27.73% of the students got above a B grade. For the time being, I will hide this just to make the screen a little simpler. So what we have here is, take Mike as an example. We say Mike scored 48.29%. We know that is less than 50, but it's more than 40, so he should get a grade of E. So as you see, I've already entered here. I'll just delete that for now. As you see, I've entered here using the VLookUp function. So I'll just delete what I did and walk through it together. So we want to enter, the VLookUp function takes 4 arguments. The fourth one is optional. So the first argument is the lookup value. What do you want to look up? So we have a table here, but what do we want to check in that table? We want to check what grade this score evaluates to. So the VLookUp value is 48.29%. The table array, we need to give the table that the function is going to use to return the grade values. So one thing we want to do, we want to lock these by using absolute reference, which means just putting $signs in front of all the letters referring to these 6 rows with 2 columns each. The column index, so what we need to say is, are we returning the score or are we returning the grade? In this case, we want to return the grade, so I will put 2. And then the fourth argument is optional, saying whether we want to return an approximate match or an exact match. In this case, we want to return an approximate match because not everybody will get either 40% or 50 or 70. There's going to be a lot of in-betweens. But for now, we can just leave that out. It makes things a little easier. So we just close the parentheses and hit enter, and then that gives Mike a letter grade E. So what we can do, we just copy that all the way down to all the students. A trick that I like to do is, if you want to copy a formula down all the way to as many rows as you want, you put your mouse at the right hand bottom corner until it becomes a plus, then you double click, and that autofills the formula all the way to the bottom, so that if you go to here to Jax, who scored a 28, not very hot, he's supposed to get an F, and that is what he has. And then coming up here at the top, we just use fairly straightforward Microsoft Excel formulas to say count if, these are conditional count if the values in the range specified meet this criteria. In this case, we're saying count if the grade is an F, or moving down here, we're saying count if the grade is a B, and that's what we get. And then the percentage breakdown, we just say take this count and then what fraction out of the total does it represent. For the cumulative count, we're just saying we actually start, it's easier to explain starting at the bottom. We say take 178 and what proportion of the entire subset does that represent? So that represents 17.38%, and as a check we see that the breakdown evaluates to the same thing, because this is saying 17.38 people got more than an A plus, got an A, sorry, and the cumulative count says that at least 17.38 students got above an A, which is true. And then this basically just adds up these two to give you 27%. Or the formula that I'm using is just using a dynamic formula that basically just increments the number of cells here that it's counting, so that if we go all the way to something like this, it's counting all these cells up to and including the cell that you've highlighted. So there, in brief, is how to use the Microsoft VLookUp function. Feel free to post comments or questions. Thanks.